let's discuss about the current openings at Samagra. This is relevant not just for the Samagra, but any opportunity which arise with any impact consulting firm. Okay. So for the current openings, the designations which are open are associate, senior associate, consultant, emerging leaders. So here they have said that designations will be assigned based on the profile and interview performance. So when you will fill its application form, you have no option to select a specific designation. So don't worry about that. Second is your work experience in total should be 18 plus months. So roles for freshers will open in mid-February. So ensure that you start preparation in advance. Do not wait for that time to come, because building that fodder in your resume and then taking your resume from zero to hero also takes time. Compensation is very good. They have not explicitly declared it. Location is the project's state capital. Here responsibilities, which as per their job descriptions are, developing deep understanding of problem statement, then driving problem solving by designing effective and implementable solutions, managing end-to-end implementation, and engaging with government leaders and functionaries. Skills they are looking for, again, explicitly mentioned in their job description: problem solving, leadership record, quantitative and qualitative analysis, communication skills, relationship building, resilience, and drive. So again, everything we have talked till now. So typically any consulting firm demand these skills. Their selection process is 4 rounds. Round one, resume and 90-second video to be submitted till 3rd of January. Then concept note and organization fit test, 11th to 13th January. So it will be, here you have to select the date on which you want to appear for the round two. It will be some kind of 3-hour round. You will have some kind of problem statement. You may have to build some strategy or such kind of stuff around it. Then after this, once you submit it, you will have a quiz. So this is the overall format. And then round 3 and round 4 are case interview. This is with the organizational leadership. So typically with the founders, co-founders, and then offer. Here, let's focus on these two things only, and then we will wrap up. Resume. Typically, a consulting resume should include educational background. So you can put it in the form of a table, like qualification, board, institute, year, marks, etc. Put it like this. Put it in a very clean manner, clean and concise manner, and then the professional experience. So if you have some internship, you can include that as well. So include relevant work experience, internships, or volunteer positions as part of it. Here, demonstrate your ability to make an impact. Very, very important. So let's say you say that you improved operational efficiency by 80%, or so how you did that. And so for this, you use a star format, which is what action you led. Maybe action is you automated accounting process. What was the result? Is improving operational efficiency, and you also quantify that by 80%. So that impact and this number, quantified number, is very important, and this is very preferred in consulting. So impact part, quantifiable achievements, highlight any leadership or organization roles you took, and emphasize on certain important keywords. You can take these keywords from here also, or a lot of keywords which we discussed in this presentation till now, many of them directly coming from the skills section. So include all of them as well. Skills, highlight both your hard skills and the soft skills. Now, say all the candidates who are part of our applied public policy lab program. As an example, as part of it, we discussed theory of change, we discussed log frame, quantitative analysis using Microsoft Excel and R, qualitative analysis using Microsoft AI, evidence triangulation. So all these things are something, focus group discussions, key informant interviews, policy micro simulation. So all these are the relevant keywords which are directly relevant to an impact consulting firm, because when you have a problem statement, you design a theory of change, and then you start implementing it. For this, you do quantitative analysis, you do qualitative analysis. So if you have these skills, whether you are part of any program or not, that's relevant. If you have these skills, do emphasize on that. Be very, very specific in the sense anyone can write quantitative analysis, or let's say primary and secondary research. What really differentiates you is specific. Say by what, using which tool you did this, and include that preferably as part of the project, that okay, you did quantitative analysis using Microsoft Excel, deriving insights on this. So be specific. If you have understanding of public databases, again, let's say as part of our program, we cover that. So if you have these understanding of the databases released by multilateral organizations, national and subnational organizations, governments, Do include that. So mention about your tech and data skills. Again, very important, especially for Samagra, because Samagra has something called Samagra X also. So they are emphasizing a lot on the tech and product side of things. So in fact, they have roles especially related to tech and product. So if you have these skills, these are good to have skills. They can certainly give an edge to your application. So discuss about them as well. Then the projects, articles, or papers which you have written. So include details about the project's goals. Again, when you write about the project, what is important is what are the transferable skills coming out of it. It can be, let's say, the methodology which you are using. It can be, let's say, the specific tools which you are using. It can be the specific actions, your contributions as part of that. So include the specific details about which data you used as part of it. The insights which you gathered, the composite index design. So as part of our program, let's say you number one, fetch data, PLFS data, you conduct some kind of analysis on it, then you design a composite index. So mention about those specific things. Say you did any project in the past, do mention about those specific things. If you wrote any consulting paper, any white paper, mention about those specific certifications obtained to any certification, any self-directed professional development during the gap. Let's say when you have the gap years, if you have did anything like an online course, webinars, self-study, do mention about them. Some training, workshops, certifications, mention about them. Awards and achievements, very important part. Here in consulting, they look for people with an all-round personality, and it is usually said that you should ideally have one peak in your profile. Peak can be in your education, it can be in your work experience, can be in your skills and projects, it can be in your extracurricular achievements. So showcase that specific P. So the leadership roles, let's say you were national level, you are national level player, or you played at national level as part of any game or dance or other endeavor, do mention about it. So involvement in the clubs, extracurricular activities, do mention about those things. Now section on UPSC preparation, again very important. Those of you who have prepared for civil services, when you have those 3-4 years of gap, now there is a common understanding in the market that UPSC is a difficult examination. Not everyone who prepare for it qualifies it, but you gain a lot of transferable skills out of it. So do not have those unexplained gap in your CV. Explicitly mention about what you were doing in those 3-4 years. Here, what is important is, apart from mentioning about the outcome of the preparation, if you especially appeared in mains or interview stage, do mention that, but talk about the transferable skills, which are, let's say, communication skills, report writing skills, critical thinking, attention to details, time management, working under pressure. So specific skills which you developed, hard work and other things. Focus on personal and professional growth which you achieved during this period. Now, a few things to keep in mind while preparing resume: lack of tailoring, avoid sending out generic resume. Irrelevant personal information, do not write your age, marital status, unrelated hobbies, irrelevant. Overemphasis on UPSC preparation, you need to mention about the transferable skills, but do not just start overly focusing on your UPSC preparation. That doesn't help. Listing unrelated skills, so just mention about the relevant skills for them. Negative language about the career gap or inconsistent formatting. That is very important. Most of the resume I receive have inconsistent formatting. Let's say the bullets are dancing, or let's say there is timeline. The timeline is like this, somewhere here, then on the right hand side on this. So it can lead to direct rejection. Believe me, trust me when I say this. Ensure that the alignment is proper. It should look like an impeccable resume. There is no reason to find any single mistake in your resume. All right. Second part, which is the 90-second video. A lot of you reached out to me with questions around the 90-second video. Now, it is relevant not just for this opening at Samagra. Many organizations ask for similar kind of stuffs. So the problem statement here is, share one experience where you have demonstrated drive. They have mentioned it in their job description. Drive is where you have consistently worked towards achieving a goal for an extended period of time, at least for a few months. They have mentioned that it should be, let's say, 6 or more months. Feel free to elaborate on the efforts you made and the hurdles you came in the process. This experience may be academic, co-curricular, extracurricular, or professional experience. So this is what they have explicitly mentioned. Now, what can be your approach? I have just tried to provide a tentative format for that. Feel free to be innovative, put your own ideas around it. Let's say if I was at your place, this is what I would have written. Number one is an opening for 10 to 15 seconds where I'll introduce myself. So start with your name and brief context about yourself. Let's say, hi, I'm Jigyasu Agrawal and I'm passionate about solving complex problems that create a meaningful impact in society. Today, I would like to share an experience where I demonstrated drive. Goal, again, for 10 to 15 seconds. Clearly state the goal you are working towards. It can be, let's say if I have to write one, I'll write, during my journey as founder at Rebounds, my goal was to create India's first social venture that would empower ex-UPSC aspirants transition smoothly to fulfilling and satisfactory careers beyond UPSC. So that problem statement, that goal is should be explicitly clear. The efforts. So highlight the consistent efforts you made for an extended period. Share the specific skills, actions you took. It can be planning, networking, learning new skills, overcoming challenges. So as an example, I would say, to achieve this, I dedicated over a year to understanding the needs of ex-UPSC aspirants and skills demanded by employers. I organized over 1,000 free mentorship sessions, conducted countless webinars, organized podcasts with ex-UPSC aspirants, come industry veterans, and designed tailored programs to guide aspirants. It required countless hours of planning, refining the curriculum, and ensuring its scalability. So be very, very specific about the efforts which you made, the hurdles which you came across. So describe the challenges you faced along the way and how you overcame. So one of the biggest hurdles was skepticism, both from the candidates doubting their potential and from organizations hesitant to hire them. So to address this, I personally coached candidates, helped them articulate their transferable skills, and built a strong network with recruiters to create opportunities. This required immense patience, persistence, and ability to inspire confidence in. Then finally, sum it up with the result for 10 to 15 seconds. Maybe, today Rebounds has guided over 1,000 candidates with many successfully transitioning into effective roles. This experience taught me that consistent efforts combined with resilience can drive meaningful change. And finally, close it up by a strong, memorable statement, tying it back to the role of passion. So this journey has fueled my passion for creating scalable impact, and I'm excited about the opportunity to bring the same drive and commitment to Samagra's mission. So this is just one tentative format where you talk about the opening, what was the broader goal, the efforts which you made, hurdles you came across, the results, and finally closing it up. Feel free to use your own innovations. Things to keep in mind, very, very important here is choose a strong example that align with their values, such as creating impact, problem solving, perseverance, or dedication. Second is, focus on specific actions and efforts and quantified results. As I was saying, even in resume, quantified results matter. Because when you say I was first in the class, the question is how many candidates were there in the class? 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, or in a competition. So that should be explicit. Then a professional setting, ensure good lighting, clear audio, and minimal background noise. Keep it concise. So ensure that your story fits within 90 seconds. I don't know whether my story will fit into that or not, but had if I was applying, I would practice it enough so that it can come in those 90 seconds. So practice well so that it can come in those 90 seconds. Again, they have said it explicitly. Then if it is, let's say, till 95 seconds, they can accept. But if it is just, even if it is 90 second video, they will directly reject it. So ensure that you abide by the guidelines of single page resume and 90 seconds. Storytelling is the key. Data tells, story sells. At the end of the day, it's the story which sells in the market. Your overall, when you say it, it should be compelling and coherent to keep them engaged and make them you memorable. Be authentic. Use a conversational tone, and maintain eye contact with the camera device. You can use any device, mobile camera, laptop. Show genuine enthusiasm for this role. So convey your energy and passion for the role. Use natural language. Avoid over rehearse and scripted tones. So rehearse, practice, but do not over rehearse. I understand that all of you are not founders. Most of you are UPSC aspirants and people working in the industry. So I have just suggested some ideas. These are some ideas which just came to my mind. Let's say in academic, see, you can mention about some of the examination, maybe UPSC, CAT, IIT, whatever examination which you prepare. Say as an example, if I have to write another story, maybe I'll write about mastering unique optional subject preparation. So I took electrical optional subject, and later I realized that the subject, the content was huge, and the material available was very little. So how I managed that overall preparation, and finally getting into some of those toppers in electrical engineering optional. So that is one journey which you can mention about. When you mention about your UPSC journey, do not mention about just something which is very generic. Take complete accountability for whatever happened, and then talk about your journey. So maybe this is one thing I can write, which you can write, or some driving an initiative which you took for peer learning and other areas, or maybe overcoming setbacks by identifying weaknesses. So it can be, let's say, I typically had a problem with my time management, writing speed, and the handwriting. So how I improved that overall space, and how I stayed committed in this journey is again one of those ideas. So feel free to introspect and then come up with those ideas. So in academic, it can be in professional, it can be about driving a key initiative, meeting ambitious targets, or leading a hybrid project. So as an example, when I was working with ABB, I played a critical role in building a new multi-million-dollar business line in power plant consulting. So at that time, it was completely new, and I was also awarded Trailblazer Award for the same. So maybe I can mention about that. So similarly, introspect and think about those specific things. That one project. Some of you had the question that I had, I took 10 initiatives. So take that one top initiative and talk about the specific thing coming up. Maybe similarly from volunteering, if you have no work experience, and let's say later when you apply, then maybe talk about the volunteering fundraising drive during COVID or something similar. Or it can be something which is personal. Personal can be your overall, let's say, weight loss journey, or your journey to national Bharatanatyam competition. So point is, it can be anything, but it should showcase what they are typically looking for, which is your drive, which is your uh, commitment towards something, your resilience, patience. So that's all about it. So if you want to get into any corporate career, this is what a typical checklist should look like. You do some kind of project to build the right upskilling, to gain the right skills, then build a good resume and a cover letter, which reflects your knowledge, skills, and career aspirations. Then, crack the interviews, prepare well for the interviews, case interviews, guesstimate, fit interviews, etc. Effective LinkedIn profile. Nowadays, when you apply to any organization, employer typically want to check your LinkedIn profile, so improve that as well. Write corporate referrals. So if you can gain the corporate referrals, it undoubtedly helps. So maybe reach out to the right set of folks and get the corporate referrals. We, as part of our market readiness program, also helps you get these corporate referrals, but we do not commit it. It is like an add-on, because there are so many organizations out there in the market. We can never be sure about the corporate. And finally, perseverance. Perseverance is the key. Obviously, this whole process is not easy. We all have transitioned this, and I personally have transitioned this, and I know it is very, very difficult. So, have these right things in place and start applying it. That should be. Thank you.